Hey there, happy Friday, everybody. Morning, 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 morning. Ooh. Definitely got some sleep last night, which is a lot better than what I've been doing all week long, actually, all month long. And even though I still have a little bit of this stuffiness going on, I'm sitting out here on my back patio and I was just trying to get into that space and communicate with God and just like, what is the topic of today? And I'm going to just kind of jump right in to the topic. Probably should jump right into the topic as soon as I get off of here too, because the topic is all on taking the trash out and how most everything is the trash. And I'm sitting out here on my back patio and I have a recycle can on my back patio, and between all the stuff that we bought, the boxes and everything that now needs to be taken out to the recycle, and then just the regular recycle, I've got like 2 bags full of recycles sitting on my back patio that needs to just be marched over here to the trash can in my driveway. And I was just looking at it, I'm like, I really feel like when I looking at that trash right there, that's what it is. It's recyclable trash, but it's still trash, right? Just looking at the trash, I realized that I have spent the last month of my life taking the trash out. Quite literally. It has just been take this trash out, take that trash out, take the trash out, take the trash out, take the trash out. And I'm not even talking about that kind of trash. I mean, yeah, there's the every couple days trash that has to go out. But when I look at all the stuff, and moving definitely makes you very aware of how much trash you have in your life. And moving is a great big change. It is a transformation. It is a creation of this new life that you're creating, that you're having. So you definitely have to, when you are trying to push forward and have this life that you want appear, transform in front of you, manifest in front of you, one of the biggest things that you have to do is take your trash out consistently and really be able to sort through process through all the stuff that you think you want to keep, but you actually start getting rid of. So, for example, like the other day, I was in the garage and I was cleaning the garage up and organizing and putting boxes to this side and that side. And we were out there and we're cleaning all this stuff, and I get into a couple boxes, and they are boxes from like the early 90s. We're talking like 92 on some of those boxes. And my daughter, who just moved back from Maui, Becca, she's opening them up and she's like, "Mom, look at this," and she's reading through different stuff. And it's just all this negative charged energy, which is really just trash out there. Hey, good morning, Addison. Morning, Michael. It's just trash that I've been dragging along with me since 1992. Since 1992. And it's like, that is just freaking silly that I have this box. Even though it is small, it is still a box full of this old trash. These pieces of a time that is so gone, a time that I never care to repeat, with energy that I never want to have in my life again. And it's there, and it's sitting in my garage still. It's still sitting in my garage. And it really is just one of those things of, being able to clear that out. Now, with that particular box of trash, what I'm doing is I'm going to burn it. I'm going to have a burn party in a couple days, and I think I'm going to just burn a whole bunch. Yawn Central. I'm just going to burn a whole bunch of different stuff to purge that energy. Then when you move, like I've been looking around, there's all these other areas. Like last night, I was finally, after a month, getting my bedroom more put together last night, and was moving, the bed frame around and making sure that my clothes were all folded and put away. And I got into a pile of paperwork that came out of an old filing cabinet, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go buy a filing cabinet today so I can get this stuff put away. And I'm just like getting things organized and cleaned up and everything. And I'm going through stuff And even in the midst of this, there's these pieces of trash. There's this stuff that needs to be gotten rid of because it's now trash to my life. It is nothing to the life that I want to have, the life that I am currently living. It is this remnant piece of old energy that is just kind of hanging on and holding on and going, no, 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 take me with you. Take me on this journey with you. And that's how it's kind of going. And what that is it's really this piece of us, this aspect of us that does not want to let go of the things that have gone, the things that no longer serve us. I tell you, when you don't sleep really good all week long and then you get a good night's sleep, you're still yawning. I swear, I think I'm yawning more this morning than what I normally do. But back to the trash and taking it out. So those aspects of us that we're holding on to, that we don't want to let go of, when they're there and we find them, a lot of the times what ends up happening is we look at them and we go, that's sentimental, that has a lot of meaning, that has a lot of value to it, right? And we go, no, I don't want to get rid of it for this reason or that reason. And it's not necessarily that you have to get rid of everything, because there really are things that are sentimental. And I'm as sentimental as the next girl out there on different stuff. I got stuff from my grandmother. I got stuff from my great-grandmother. I've got stuff, the little things that my kids have made me through the years and everything. And that stuff definitely is sentimental and has a certain value to it that makes it not trash. What I'm talking about are those pieces of your life that you've kept around, kind of like that box in my garage from 1992 that's got a whole bunch of my ex-husband's stuff in it. And that's a relationship that I never want to repeat. And as much as I can love him from a distance, I don't want him in my life anymore, because I don't want that energy in my life, right? So the fact that I have this in my garage, it's kind of just presenting this little trinket of energy from him that is still attached, that is still there, and it's not sentimental, and it's not overly valuable stuff. Like, it's not even anything that I ever would replace or want to replace. It's just some paperwork, actually. That's why I'm burning it, is because it's paperwork. But just that little bit of energy, even though I may not be consciously aware that it's there, energetically, spiritually, it's still there. He still is getting a little piece of me, a little drain from me. So it's kind of like I'm still sending energy his way. So I'm not giving myself 100%. I'm not giving my life 100%, because there is this little drain over here. And we do this definitely with our relationships, where we just have all this different stuff, where we're draining ourselves over and over again from all this different stuff in our life. And it's really important to, whatever you can clear out, to just really get rid of and cut those cords and clear them out and do that separation that you actually need, so that you can be as 100% to yourself as you possibly can be, without all these little distractor energetic pulls that we actually do have in our lives. And that's really, a lot of it can come from oh goodness, just little trinkets that we have around the house too. A long time ago, I took a Feng Shui class a long time ago, and in the Feng Shui class, one of the biggest things that I walked away with was to be cautious as to the things that we have sitting around our house, because everything has memory attached, and that is where the energy comes from. It's the memory. So if something presents itself as any form of a negative memory, that you walk by it, and even if you don't stop, look at it, pick it up, think about the memory, every time you just catch it, just out of your side view, right? You just catch it and you see it, it sends a charge through your body. So to be really, really cautious, I mean, that can be like you're sitting down and what if you're eating off of the plates that you had you had a humongous fight at Thanksgiving time, let's say. You had a humongous fight at Thanksgiving time, and these were the plates that you were using when the fight broke out. Then there's going to be a piece of you that, whether you realize it or not, will always be attached to that negative a moment, that fight. Every time you look at that plate, every time you eat off that plate, you're getting a little bit of a charge from that plate in a negative way. So to really truly look at that and say, go buy some freaking new plates if that's the case, right? So it's like, just to clear out, hey, good morning, Crystal. Just to clear out the energy right there and start to freshen things up. Cut those cords with that negativity so that you don't have it presenting itself every time you pass by. I know for sure, moving into this house and really kind of taking a facelift on my life over the last month of things, it's been a lot of newness. There's things that I brought with me that I'll never get rid of. I mean, there's like books and my clothes and different stuff like that, and trinkets that, from travel that I've gathered up. I don't have anything even though there's been events that have happened while traveling, all my trinkets from travel really have like a really good feeling to them. Things that I would love to repeat in my life. Maybe not with the same person, maybe not in the same way, but there's definitely a really good charge around that. But then you look at the rest of my house and almost everything is new in a different way. So it does not have an energetic charge to it. So there's different things that are coming in from even the way the house design and the decoration style, instead of the way I used to decorate according to this relationship or that relationship. And you might notice this, that if you're in a relationship, you kind of create your house around the energy of that relationship instead of just letting yourself be. So this time I'm just like, all right, it's just like, no, it's just going to be this way. It's just going to actually be very fresh and light and open. And we don't have to have this and we don't have to have that and blah, 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 blah. So there's a whole new energetic charge to the whole environment, which is another energy cord cutting event that you really have to take into mind. Now, if you're with somebody and you just want to change up your energy in the house, and that's quite literally another thing to look at, because we're not just talking about just like romantic relationships. There's so many different things when you look at your space, whether that is your home, your car, your office, just your bedroom even. Looking into those spaces, how much negative charging agents, how much of that pull of a memory that you don't want to have do you have around you? Do you have blankets on the back of your couch or on your bed that actually belong to somebody that you really have no longing to ever have any contact with, that there's a negative charge around? Do you have, certain trinkets laying around here or there that every time you walk by, I mean, really go examine your spaces and see what you can find. Because if you're holding on to something just because you think that you should hold a memory of that person, you have to question what kind of energetic charge are you actually receiving from that person. Example, my daughter, who just moved back from Hawaii, she was in a few-year relationship, and her fiance, they were engaged, right? They got engaged in Mexico a couple of years ago, and he had gotten her this necklace, and when she got here a week ago, she had the necklace on, and she told me, even, this is the last thing that I have that's his. And then I have a whole bunch of their stuff out in the garage, so we were cleaning, and I looked at her, I said, you need to really, while we're doing this cleaning, you should go through all of the stuff that you guys left behind here for me to take care of while you guys were off living in Hawaii, and you should sort through it, because you don't need his stuff around in anymore. You're moving forward, because they broke up, okay? So they broke up, and the negative charges of that just didn't have his stuff even at mom's house in the garage is still an attachment to him. And then she's got this necklace that she was wearing, and I don't remember if it happened yesterday or the day before, but the necklace broke. So there was like two things that she had, and they both have broke since she's been here. And that's kind of like her spirit, the universe going, you don't need this anymore. You need to just detach from this energy. Time to move forward. And yeah, she was like, oh, my necklace broke. I'm going to have to go get a new necklace. But also the understanding that, hey, that energy is broken now. That energy between the two of them is broken. It is done for. It is over. So let it go. So let it go. And, you know, when energy really does have that breaking point, you're going to notice that things with that energy are just going to start to have issues themselves. I know that I've seen that happen many, many times where my physical stuff, like jewelry, especially jewelry, electronics, furniture, cars, all that kind of stuff, when you move out of a relationship, when you distance yourself and that energy is really, truly broken there and you allow it to just really just clear, then stuff starts happening with some of the actual physical stuff that you own, that brings back those memories of that person, of that relationship. And typically it'll be around just negative stuff. Somehow we send these charges and energetic charges into these pieces, like that necklace that my daughter had on, you know, side it right here on her chest by her heart. And she's dealing with heartbreak from the relationship. So she's got all this negativity that's basically that necklace just kind of absorbed, you could say. If you looked at it like that, the necklace, you could say the necklace was a sponge. Then it just kind of absorbed that negativity from her heart. And, well, it broke. It broke. The necklace broke. Her heart broke. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And I know that might sound a little like woohoo, crazy stuff, but really think about your world and look at it. And there is scientific evidence that shows that the emotional connections that we have to things actually does play a role on our thinking, on our consciousness, on our feelings, and the way we relate to the world, and how we are showing up in the world, and how we're processing things. So to really look at the things that you have in your world, and how can you clear that space? How can you just bring then a freshness to your world so that you can move forward and do the things that you need to do and have the life that you want to have without that residue from a past relationship coming in and just affecting you. Or, you know, it can be, I'm talking about like romantic relationships here or different things like that, but it can even be, you can take it to a work environment as well, because let's say you worked for a company for 10 years and you've got their pens, t-shirts, golf ball, you know, all these little different things, maybe, you know, coasters, all these different things that you accumulate from working with a company that has now the company logo on it, okay? And you got, maybe that's where all your notepads are and it says the company logo on it. And then this company, they go through a change and you miss your promotion a couple years in a row and you start getting a negative charge around that. And then all of a sudden, they downsize. They downsize and you get booted. So that happens. Now you got all this little trinket stuff laying around maybe your house, maybe you got it in your car for quick notes. You don't think a whole lot of the pen that's laying in your car that you grabbed to make a quick note with. But the reality is that if it's like one of those pens from this event, what you're going to connect to in that moment is that every time you look at it, every time you catch that company logo, there's going to be a piece of you that goes, fuck, like, man, they screwed me over, da 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 da. So it's going to send a negative trigger into you that can literally cause you to spiral the wrong direction if you're not careful, which is what we're talking about here, is just these things that can just get you to spiral. And, you know, you wonder, how can you be in a good mood and then all of a sudden flip to a bad mood? And you're like, what happened? What happened? Where did those thoughts come from? Where did those feelings come from? I don't know. I was in a great mood. I've been doing great all day long. So why am I all of a sudden having this feeling, this charge right here? Well, what pen do you have in your hand? What does the notepad say? What did you walk by? You know, what did you move? What did you catch out of the corner of your eye that triggered a negative thought in your head that now got you down that negative spiral of thinking, of feeling, of all that kind of stuff. So really, truly look at those things, no matter how little they are. Like, go clean out your pen drawer and get rid of any pens in there that might trigger you in different ways, because that trigger definitely is not a good thing. And if you're wanting to move forward and you're wanting to create that fuck yes life, then you have to even look at the little things that can potentially trigger you and cause negative emotion to rise up in your body. Because ultimately, if you want that fuck yes life, then you've got to create a feel good environment for yourself that you can maintain consistently, so that, and you've got to support that, you've got to back it in every possible way so that you're not being triggered in these different departments with this negativity. Okay, so, and that's where almost everything can become trash, because I'm not saying throw your whole world out. What I am saying is that look at the things that really, that you may not even realize are triggering you on a day-to-day basis, and see what you can dispose of. And if it's something that you really can't dispose of, then bag it and tag it and put it in the darkest closet that you can, or out in your garage where it is more out of sight, out of mind. And you might find it in 20 years from now and go, now I don't need it. Now I don't need it. And then you can move on and actually dump it then. Because that's literally like this paperwork for me. I've been dragging around for 20 years, didn't even realize it, but it does have a negative charge. Minor negative charge, because it has been out of sight, out of mind. It's not something that I've thought about or, ever even looked at really over the course of that time. But finding it the other day was kind of that eye-opening of like, wow, I still have pieces of the 90s here, and the 90s was not all that great. Outside of giving birth to 3 of my babies in the 90s, I definitely don't want anything to do with that energy, that time zone anymore. Lessons learned, we've moved through it, we've moved on. There's nothing there that is needed anymore. So to just let go of anything like that. So, let me see. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know. See? Trash got me started. Trash got me started this morning, realizing all the different trash and cleaning and organizing my house here. So, yeah. So if you want to move forward, if you want to have, that fuck yes life, if you want to really clear and create and want to know one of those little pieces, as silly as it might seem, taking your trash out is definitely an important thing to do on a day-to-day basis with your regular trash, but to really just realize that you have things that are not trash, that are actually trash. And just like the trash can, if you don't take it out and you just let it sit there, well, then it's going to start stinking things up. It's going to get a lot messier. It's going to actually contaminate your whole environment, and it's a heck of a lot harder to really clear that energy after it starts to contaminate it than it is just to go in and go, okay, we're just taking the trash out right now. Okay, and that's what you have to look for. So let me see. Today you have Friday Conscious Coffee, and about taking your trash out and really just feeling good. So if you, all right, my phone just said that Facebook stopped working, so hopefully it's still working. But if you want to learn more about techniques and tips and tricks as to how to keep yourself feeling good so that you can consciously create that fuck yes life, so that you can consciously have the life that you want, definitely explore my Feel Good Now online course, because that class is definitely going to give you a whole bunch of pointers to everything and really help you break that down. And then also add in this piece about taking out the trash, because feeling good and feeling good now and in the moment is a conscious decision that we all can make. We have control of that no matter how much shit is going on. And I have had some really big time depression in my life in the past. Not as serious as some, but serious enough that I understand that it can feel sometimes like we can't break out of it. And I can tell you that everything comes down to the conscious decision of what we are thinking about, so that we can start creating those feelings and how we can feel good. And there are different things that we can do to keep ourselves on track, but it does take a focus, a dedication, and a desire to make our life better, and to want to create something more for ourselves, and to show ourselves love and compassion, which means that we are coming into that feel good now state. And the class that you'll see pinned right here on this video is definitely one that will show you exactly what you need to do so that you can create that feel good now energy right now, today, tomorrow, and always, so that you can start really manifesting the life that you want to have. Let me see. Anything else? No, I'm not going to do any more announcements for today. Not on here, at least. I will be doing announcements later, though, because I have a workshop tomorrow to announce a little bit and push people on. Yep, so there you have it. There you have it. Week over, Conscious Coffee done. I will catch you guys Monday morning around 6 o'clock in the morning, and with a brand new Conscious Coffee and probably a whole bunch of new stuff. It's going to be a fantastic, beautiful weekend around here, so I'm excited about getting a whole bunch of stuff accomplished and lightening the energy and taking my trash out. So, as always, stop existing and start living. Love you guys.